What's up, everybody? It's Rafi Rayal, and I'm gonna be doing some video logging here and over the next lifetime of mine. So I wanted to talk about my 40-day Kundalini journey. Today was day 3, and today was huge self-love practice that definitely brought up some emotions, and it's some trauma release exercise afterwards a little bit, and really felt choked. Felt like I was being choked for a minute there. I was like yelling, I was screaming, and I was like crying, and like all the air was out of my lungs, and I couldn't like take breath. So I was like retching and like also almost throwing up, and ran to the bathroom for a second to try to throw up. It felt like some stuff was like really releasing out of my throat space. But this Kundalini practice has been super powerful. It also serves to let you know that the full moon was last night. Full moon in Aquarius, so really been dealing with a lot of feelings coming up and a lot of emotions in the realm of places that like ex-girlfriends were in my dreams last night, 2 of them. One was like super negative, but I was staying with her anyway, and one was like super fearful and like not really into adventure, not really into like trying new things in life, or being able to handle fear spaces. And I was still hanging out with her anyway, but I was like dampening myself to do so. It was very interesting how it all played out. There was a cowboy, he had like powder blue jacket and like a yellow shirt, and there was yellow flowers, and he had been shot by this evil person. And my superconscious had a mentor in the dream, and when you have a mentor male in the dream, I believe it's the superconscious. So my superconscious had the chance to kill the shadow, but chose not to out of like compassion, and then the shadow ended up killing the cowboy with the powder blue and the yellow, which is like all about joy and spirituality. And I actually ended up, I think it was about my night last night, and also about how I have to, choose which person that I want to be in my life and like stand up as my beautiful, powerful self and my spirituality and my joy, and not let the shadow get the best of me. Because last night I drank last night, and I was over drinking and overeating last night, and that's been a pattern for me and a habit for me to block the emotions from moving through. And it's really kind of rough cycle that I've been in, and I'm ready to step into a new frame of reality. So I'm really just calling myself out, and being authentic and integral with my video logging. So it's like, hey, here's what I'm actually going through raw. Let's give it to you raw, because other people might be going through similar situations, and to like build some support and some accountability in a community space is huge. So I'm just learning to not feed that demon, so to speak, and to let my spiritual self like ride free on the plains with his beautiful, spiritual, and joyful self, and expressing myself more freely through my throat space and being authentic and integral feels very loving, and it feels very true to form in who I am. But the Kundalini is definitely helping me to release a lot of stuff and bring some things up in my attention span and get me more in control of my mind and more aligned with my higher self on a daily basis. And I really appreciate that practice, and I'm not letting that go to the wayside. So it's like I have these old habits that are coming in and out, but I'm also having these new habits that I'm bringing in strong. So I really am proud of myself, and this is definitely a process where releasing so much deep emotion can be very scary and very trying, and especially with that full moon energy and like everything that's coming up. But I am really proud of myself for how far that I've come. I'm proud of myself for putting myself on this Kundalini journey. I've been on a retreat. I was at a men's retreat 2 weekends ago, and I was at an Akashic Records creative mind retreat last weekend, and both of those were super expansive and have really helped me to see my true potential, my true creative genius, and like what that looks like. And if you haven't had an Akashic reading, man, it's so cool. Hit me up. Hit me up just send me a message and let's talk about it. I would love to conversate with people about Akashic readings and about my experiences on those retreats too. But yeah, it's been some super expansive times. Like I said, I appreciate the Kundalini Yoga, and I would recommend it to anybody who's trying to restructure and reformat their life. It brings things up so it can be released, to feel that pain, to feel those triggers so that you can reform your ego into one that is a consciously aware ego, and an ego that's willing to tune into the highest frequency, tune into the higher self. And that was part of my Akashic reading, was to get really grounded in a practice of Kundalini Yoga. I also mentioned organic gardening, so might be looking for some plants and such here in the near future. But yeah, I also want to put out there that I am doing oracle readings and intuitive counseling. If anybody wants an oracle reading or intuitive counseling, I will be booking those. And you can hit me up and slide me some messages, and we can have a whole conversation about what I do there. I do joy readings. I do guided meditation. If you're interested in that, I'm getting into doing the guided meditations, but I've built one for myself that I would be interested in like working through with somebody else too. So that's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm also trying to discern where I'm going to be living. There's a lot of changes happening in life in general. I'm going to be moving into a new house or a new community space. This is what I'm actually calling in. I'm manifesting a new community space. Like a community kitchen and community garden would be cool. And just a place with like-souled, conscious, aware people, calling that in. But that's been really just trying to discern who I hang out with and who I don't hang out with as well. It's important that I put my energies around people that are going to push me to grow and that are also really deep in their growth. So some of those things, like learning to trust my intuition in those spaces and like trust the universe is bringing me exactly what I need, and in the form of video logging. So it's just important for me to use my voice, use my throat, speak out loud, and let other people see what I'm going through, as well as offer other people to hit me up and like be like, hey, I'm going through some similar stuff. Like, accountability is great, and it's also good to just have a conversation about it, because we can really bring in and solidify our new perceptions of what we want out of our new reality. Together, as we are co-creating this reality as individuals, but it is still co-creative. Individuals, yes, but co-creative, okay? So let's build this world, this new heaven on earth, in love and in light and in compassion, and really just work together to make our realities the biggest, brightest versions of ourselves that we can be, and make our realities the biggest versions of our realities that we can see, and just recreating what it means to be alive on the planet. And I think that's super important. So all that's where I'm at. Kundalini Yoga, get it, go. It's beautiful, it's perfect, and I love you very much. And I will talk to you all very soon. I love you.
Goodbye.